sometimes you could just feel like you're doing the wrong thing because it's not working the way you think it's supposed to work.
Yep.
When sometimes it's like, yo, you are really doing the right thing. Sometimes faith shows up looking like faithfulness. The willingness to keep doing it.
Most of us would be arrogant if we knew what the outcome was, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You just know to take the step, and then he does what he does because he's the one that conquers.
Yeah.
I can't conquer anything. That was David's. To be that young and have that level of differentiation.
Sure.
Today, God will conquer you, and I'll kill you and take off your head. Like, I know I can't conquer nothing.
Right, yeah.
And I know he ain't going to kill nothing.
Yeah.
So he's going to conquer and I'm going to kill. And we going to go. That's the tension. And so this is just thank you for saying yes. I know that, like, that's become kind of like, thank you for your yes. Like, people have been saying that a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is a thing now.
Yeah. People
I'm not saying it's not genuine, but it is a thing.
Yeah. Thank you for your yes. But your yes produced something in months that you didn't see come to fruition in Jersey for years.
Yep. It's a fact. Honestly, Tim, day one. Like, in terms of the day we opened the doors, the first service, in terms of just like the volume.
All right, this is okay. We need to talk about something. Good Lord, I'm glad we still talking. 'Cause we just stepped into something that we need to. I need to investigate this. Okay. So for our podcast, I've reached more people with the podcast than all 27 years I've been preaching combined.
Yes. Listen, when you get better spiritually, everything get better. Spiritual life is not the only important part of your life. It is the most important part of your life because it affects every other part that's important. But you don't get stronger spiritually accidentally. It takes intentionality. You need to get fed, and you got to learn how to understand, how to interpret, how to apply, and how to explain the Bible. The Bible's the blueprint to your best life. And I'm going to tell you, Sunday's not enough to give you the tools that you need to get better with the Bible. I want you to join me in my community called Bible U, where I help you take your understanding, your application, and your explanation of the Bible to another level.
And there was no empirical data on the preaching side that let me know this was going to be the podcasting side. right?
Yeah.
I didn't have that type of profile.
Sure.
I didn't have that type of following. I didn't have that type of imprint. I loved what I was doing. I've never compared myself to nobody else. I never thought I was going to have a 30,000 person church because I be telling people to crucify their flesh too much.
Yeah.
So, like, that's been my core message with discipleship people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We're like, eat his flesh, drink his blood now. Take your cross, get some nails, die. Right? And that's just not the message.
After church.
After
church.
After church,
Yes.
die. Growth track? No, just die. We have a die track. We have a death track. It's a one-step death track. We have body bags. We just want you to zip them up.
Yes.
We're just going to throw you in an open hole, right?
No goodie bags.
No.
Body bags.
We got body bags.
Get in one of those.
Yeah, exactly. So
be vulnerable.
And be vulnerable. Don't come out till you're ready to be vulnerable. Yes, dude. So this podcast life has been surreal, but I think we need to investigate something. And that is that, and I don't even know how to set this up, but hopefully you're brilliant, so you can pick it up wherever. We cannot assume, based on what we've done, what God wants to do. I want to say that again. We cannot assume, based on what God has done, what he wants to do.
So good.
And when.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you had like a strategy session and was like, here's what I'm going to do.
Absolutely not. No, yeah.
Right, you know what I mean?
Bro,
I'm going to start. Because how long you been pastoring the church in Jersey?
I think 17 years. Yeah. 17 years. 17 years. We started there, I was like, what, 24, 25, somewhere around there. So it's like, yeah.
I just want you to imagine.
Can I ask you one question?
Please, please.
So from the time you got the word to transition
Yeah.
and started the pod,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking about my life,
Yeah.
would you say that there's some quantum leap of personal growth you experience? Because I didn't
No.
I can't. I mean, of course, I'm trying to grow as a Christian and grow as a leader.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Like when I look at like what God is doing or has done, I can't say, oh, I've had a quantum leap in my own growth and development that makes this make sense. It's like, I just did what I've been doing. And then one day he just breathed on it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nothing changed.
I don't think I'm not smarter.
Nope. Sure wasn't. No, absolutely. No, you were absolutely right. But nothing changed between the time he told me transition this church to start the podcast. There was no awakening. There was no, I had a personal revival and God just gave me a heart for the unbeliever and said, go talk to him, Timmy. That didn't happen, dog. I literally was just like, okay, I found my successor. I'm doing this, da-da-da-da. It just so happened one of my friend's sons asked me to be on their pod. I went and did the pod. And when I got up to and dapped him up and dapped up the crew, I turned around and as I was walking out the door, he said, I need you to do a podcast. And I said, no, sir. I said, I'd rather throw a penny in the ocean. I said, everybody got a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm good. There's 5 million people got a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I ain't on that.
Yeah, that ain't me. And I'm an introvert too. I'm like, not me.
Yeah.
And he was like, I need you to do a podcast. And he just would not get off my neck on it.
Wow.
And I talked to Juliet and she's like, yeah. And Juliet is always the one to co-sign when I'm doing something dumb. Like, yeah, baby, that's dumb. Don't do that. And she was like, yeah, babe, you should do it. I'd be like, doggone it. The one time I need you on my side and you saying no. So no, there was no leap. There was none of that. It was literally just, here's the next thing I need you to do.
Sure.
And it turned into the best thing for this season. A lot of people say the next thing was the best thing, and they say it at the expense of the last season. I don't think like that.
Sure.
It's the best for the season I'm in right now. The grace that I had to pastor that church for 7 years. I never thought I was going to pastor it for 30, but I didn't think it was going to be less than 10. The grace that I had to do it was on me while I did it. The grace is off of me. If you asked me to do it again, you couldn't pay me to do it again. Because if the grace ain't on you, you're just signing up to fight a demonic stronghold of a city with no mouth guard. Like you're going to get punched in the mouth anyway. I want him with me if I get punched.
Down.
It's a beat down. It can be a beat down.
Yeah.
So this is less than a year. What we're sitting in is less than a year.
Yep. About 9-10 months.
It's just wild, dude. I just never heard of a movement like this. I just haven't. It's just not even. I have no point of reference for it. And that's why I'm so inspired by it. And that's why I'm so like, okay, this is the only thing my Bible brain goes to, but I know it ain't apples to apples because our age don't say that, none of it. But it, like, for you to do something 17 years and then God say, there's something else in you I need out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's so against whatever little track you were on.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the awareness Caleb had to say, I have another mountain in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, it's not apples to apples, but I'm like, Caleb is like, I was there for the Red Sea, I was there for the Jordan River, and I still think there's something else in me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Most people,
Yeah.
dude, you're 17 years into a church and built this, and God gave you this level of influence, and then books and resources and online curriculums and discipling. You're doing everything you wanted to do.
Yeah. In a matter of, it's just, I don't know, because I think sometimes, I know I felt this way, and probably somebody listening to the pod probably feels like sometimes you could just feel like you're doing the wrong thing because it's not working the way you think it's supposed to work.
Yep.
When sometimes it's like, you are really doing the right thing. Sometimes faith shows up looking like faithfulness. The willingness to keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
It's like sometimes faith is like, faithfulness. I'm going to keep doing it because I believe I'm doing what he told me to do.
Yes, sir.
And then all of a sudden, you just hit this season where God breathes on it.
Yep.
And you're like, they're like, what did you do? It's like, nothing.
Nothing, man.
Different.
Nothing, man.
Nothing different.
Nothing, man.